So once you add normal jumps, adding double jumps is actually a really easy task. Think of it this way. So I have a counter, and this counter actually counts how many extra jumps you have. And so whenever you're grounded, this timer is equal to 1. And we have an if statement checking if you press on space and the counter is more than 0, then we want to jump and then decrease from the counter. So now after thinking of it this way, it's actually really easy to implement. Now if we go back to the script, I'm just going to collapse this little option right here and this little option right here. I'm going to show you how to do this in a bit, but whenever you're grounded, we're just going to check if is grounded and delete this part right here, and also just cut this part. I'm going to add a public amount, actually, public float, sorry, public int jump amount, and we want to add in a int jump counter. So if is grounded, we want this jump counter to equal the jump amount. So the jump amount is actually the editable amount that we can edit in script, or sorry, we can edit in the Unity game engine. So if is grounded, jump counter is equal to jump amount. Now, then again, we have an if statement that says if input dot get key down. So whenever you press on the space bar, go dot space, and the jump counter is bigger than 0, then we want to jump upwards, and then we want the jump counter to decrease by 1. So this little 2 minus operator just basically means jump counter, but minus equals 1. Basically the same exact thing, but minus is faster, so why not? Alright, so one thing I forgot to add is an if statement to check if we're not grounded. The thing is, sometimes when the player is grounded, so when the player is actually standing on the ground, the jump counter decreases by 1. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we don't actually want that. We only want the jump counter to decrease when we're not on the ground. So we're gonna add another if statement right here. Call it if not is grounded. So if is grounded equals false. Then if that is so, then we want the jump counter to decrease by 1. Now if we go back and I go to the player and set the jump amount to 1, so it's basically we have 1 extra jump. What we can basically do is we can go to this little 3 dot icon right here and go to debug. So this basically just shows us everything that we can't see, that's hidden to us, that's not public. So to debug, for debug options. So now if we go right, we go left, and if we jump once, we can jump again another time. And if we can see right here in the jump counter, 1, 2, and I can't jump again. 1, 2, can't jump again. And the jump counter actually decreases when we jump a second time. You can actually edit the jump amount, for example, if you want 2 extra jumps instead of 1. You can actually add it in, and it's really easy, it's really fast, instead of adding it directly in code. So yeah,